Collective. It's your girl, Sadie Rose, coming to you with today's word. Welcome to the Celestial Kingdom Frequency, where we come to have a little bit of light in a world full of confusion and chaos, and hopefully to be in company, in good company, of people who are going through different phases of their life, different storylines, different places in their journey where we can come relate, we can have discussion, we can disagree, we can share what we know. All praise to the Most High God. Love to the Mother. Love to the ancestors. I always ask God to, and Archangel Gabriel to really speak through me when I give these messages. And I especially asked for that guidance today because today's word is God in you, God in me. And, what that means to me is that, even though you're a unique expression of God and I am a unique expression of God, we are all the same. From the creator of creators, God. And we might look differently. We might live, in completely different places. You might have a whole different way of processing information. We might not even speak the same language. But when it comes to energy, we're all the same energy. And that means our desire to be in connection with each other, it will always be there. Even though there are, if you look at the world today, right? And even if you just go through TikTok, there's so many divisive stories. If you scroll through, the news, if you're online, if you're on social media, all you see is discord and disunity and disagreement, and people just kind of, enthralled, focused, enamored by that division. That is what's driving a lot of conversation, whether it's reality TV, whether fighting, whether it's just simple posts on social media, whether it's shootouts that are happening in our communities, in our schools. This division, this fear that's really driving the disunity. That dark energy is here to convince us, no matter what race, ethnicity, class, orientation, that we're different from each other. That because we're different from each other, that we should fear each other, that we should automatically be opposed to each other. And that lack mentality, that fear-based mentality, very much puts us in competition with each other. Which, if you think about competition, I don't think competition is inherently a bad thing, but it takes away from the real focus of our lives as a unique expression of God, because you are just like I am at varying places, right? We all, are going through our own journey, and we all have dark and light as beings here on this spiritual earth. But competition really should be about, are you in competition with yourself? Because this game, where you're the main character, you're very much in competition with yourself on whether or not you're going to be passing these tests with excellence. And then when you get retested, are you going to be able to show your commitment to your resolve in whatever you decided? And that you're going to prove to God and to the universe, y'all, this test ain't easy. We're on master level, y'all, especially at this time. It requires all of our focus. And that's why when they say focus on your business, really should focus on our business rather than saying, oh, well, Ice Spice did this, or with Tyler, whoever did that. No respect to those queens. I'm just saying, my business is not their business. because I'm focused on my business and I'm in competition with myself to be the greatest version of myself and to hold myself accountable. Now back to the unity side of things. Of course, I want to be in community. I want to be in, like in a collective of people who don't always think exactly like me, but who are aspiring for the same things, the principles that I would like to, in terms of having Christ consciousness and, accepting people wherever they're at in their different phases of their ascension, but holding firm boundaries and holding people accountable, and where we can be compassionate and help and support in the way that that person needs us, but still hold our boundaries when we don't have the resources or the capacity to be helpful that way, or if that person is posing a threat and withdrawing down or lessening or reducing our frequency. We have to be real, right? I also think that you know being separated, that's where we are very much as a collective, although I think we're going up, right? We're going up where we can increase our frequency. And I apologize, I have a new dog. She whines a lot, but anyway, I love her. She's Willow, and she is under my tree that I call Willow, although it's not a willow. That's for when I get my real house. Sorry for the commercial break. I digress. But I do think that having a diversity of opinions, having a diversity of identities, does not, I think that's rich. I think that it's very much necessary as unique creative expressions of the Most High God. But I don't think that diversity goes hand in hand with disunity. I think that we can all be different and we can all respect each other, even if we don't agree with our principles and norms and our foundational beliefs that everyone has. Like, but I do believe that we can be diverse and we can be collective as well. Now, there could be different buckets of community within the overall spectrum of diversity, different communities that can be more aligned on certain principles and foundations, because, like, for example, if I'm going to have my community one day, my compound that I'm going to establish, there are going to be certain things about how everyone eats, what kind of school they're going to, because the spiritual school, my sister, y'all, one thing about me, I'm always going to shout out the creators. I don't bite nothing. My sister, Cinda, has been thinking about, this spiritual school for youth. And you know what? I'm going to co-create with her to do something like that for these kids, like starting with our family, and who knows where it goes. So the kids gonna have to go through certain type of spiritual school, but like just school, finances, how you grow your food, how you eat right, how you don't know what your body with toxins, all of that. How we respect each other, how we love each other, how we don't treat each other in terms of gossiping and slandering, and all that stuff is going to be in my community. So within the diverse collective that we have, where we at least have the shared understanding that we are working every day to improve ourselves, to be the best versions of ourselves, and that we're on various levels of ascension, but that all of us have a duty to share in our light with other people who are ready to receive it, and for those who are not, that we accept them for that. But that doesn't necessarily we have to keep them close, right? So I'm sorry, I'm getting really detailed, and I can go on and on about this subject, but we really have to move towards a collective mindset. We have to move, and that's love, right? Fear drives disunity. Love drives us to come together, to see how we're alike, to see, how us, like, whatever we do share in terms of being like, and then how we're different, how we can then build and work together to create something that works for all of us, where all of us can be able to achieve what we want, where we can set ourselves up and be intentional about, once we create something that we desire and intend, then to actually be able to experience it, but then to be able to sustain it, and then to be able to continuously improve it as we change together collectively, but with the shared knowledge, the shared resources, and the shared understandings that we hold of each other. God is in me, God is in you, and as a collective, if we understand that we are all one and the same, it will change everything.